Thank you for having me. First of all, Dom. Today I just want to highlight some key rounds from C9 DRX's ICEBOX game. A lot of you are probably thinking, Alex, what the fuck? This game was the 13-2. It was a blowout. It was a stomp. Goddamn right it was. And I'm going to show you why. The harbor you see in a tier 2 scrim is nothing like a DRX harbor. Anybody can play the harbor and throw the bubble down and get the bomb planted, but then what? And DRX shows us then what. Like DRX's comp, right? And it kind of mirrors some traditional ICEBOX stuff, but they're not running the Sage, right? They're cutting some corners here. They want to get the post plant. They want to use the bubble to put the bomb down, right? And the other harbor abilities. So they have 2 Viper mollies, 2 KJ mollies, the turret, the alarm, and then 2 shock darts, right? All the util in the world to win a post plant. All they need to do is put the bomb down. And then worry about Sage wall on the retake. So I'm gonna let this play in the interest of time. Okay, so this is the first cool wall we see. It's straight up. I guess he throws it through the wall, and just curves it along rafters, which is neat. Makes it very uncomfortable to play that area. I don't think this is how he wanted to do it though. I think it's supposed to go like this, but I could be wrong. Oh yeah, and then this, yeah, what a sick fucking execute. So he throws down the rolling wall and pushes it forward, and now there's literally like he just rides the rope along with it. So as the thing pushes, as the wall pushes, he pushes too, and his whole team comes up. And you could see just in the last shot here, actually, this is why I love DRX, right? They're literally on the same plane here, like 1, 2, 3. Like this guy's a little close behind. It's like when this wall hits, they're all in, all at the same time. Really well timed execute. And Yay being Yay. You know, who else but Yay to shut it down? Yeah, so this, wow, very scrappy round. Basically all of C9 was here. But I think that's the theme that we're gonna see over the key rounds that I point out. Oh yeah, this shot was nice from Zest. I remember that. The cast was good. If you pull it up for this, or maybe the replay on the shot was clean or something. Yeah, ooh, it was nice. And stacks. Okay, so the anti-eco I know was really clean, and it was on the opposite side. But just to wrap up the point there, this exec, the harbor executes are very different than how ICEBOX has been played for, since its conception, right? This wall that pushes in, and then everybody's, you're either up on the rope or pushing along with it. This wall that curves around and hits rafters, very oppressive to play against. Really gives you not a lot of space to play in as a defender, and really incentivizes you to either play up and play for 1 or just, play retake. And there's something to be said about controlling the pace of the game, or just being in control in general, right? And I'm sure you could understand as a general competitor, when you're conceding that kind of control of the game or the pace, right? As the defenders, you're saying, well, our best option is to retake, but that's what DRX wants, right? Again, 1, 2, 3 sets of like post-plant utility. No matter what your plan is, they've already accounted for it. So yeah, that's definitely a theme. This was a sick anti-eco. I'm going to let it play through first so I can organize my thoughts, but yeah, the wall out, I mean, it's just so oppressive from the defender point of view, They can't push the wall, otherwise they're slowed and basically dead. DRX starts to scale. There's another wall, comes out. Getting Buzz up on yellow is really cool, and this bubble is super cool. I'll explain in a moment. Yeah, it was just a super clean round. If I played this with audio, it'd be probably easier to figure out what's happening because there's a lot going on. But the first, okay, so let's try and break this down. Anti-eco round, right? You're on SMGs, you're on your Bulldog, that kind of thing, versus all classics, maybe a Marshall, maybe a Deeg. The first thing that you consider is effective range, right? Where's my SMG going to be good against a classic? Well, probably not super long range, right? You don't want the A fights if you can help it. And if you do take the A fights, you want to take them in a certain type of way, but I'm not going to go into that. Taking these B fights, B has kind of always been a little dangerous against classics. It's a very close range, right? But DRX kind of has a solution here. They want to clear it out with util and get the bomb down on B, and then they're pretty comfortable playing like yellow and B main for these SMG fights. This is like a 15-meter fight. It's perfect. So we see off rip Mako throws an orb. No idea where this lands. No fucking clue. It might be here. It might be here. But he's obviously looking this way. It goes there. Then this harbor wall to push out. I mean, this harbor wall is actually just such a great solution to playing against these kind of guns and just taking space in general. So yeah, while this wall pushes forward, they're just going to grab the space behind it, and they're kind of being respectful almost to a degree where they say, look, they could be in this wall. They could swing the wall. And I mean, you can see where they're standing, right? They're still playing back in garage. They're waiting out a dart here. They're getting even scanned. And now they start to scale. The wall's already been up a few seconds. Dart flies in yellow. Stacks takes the opener. And then this wall is also important. Just like another line of coverage, or another layer of coverage, right? Where they're not going to get picked off. And then getting buzz up on yellow, I think, is so smart in this execute. Now, this bubble is the last part of this anti-eco. Just, you don't want to get spammed through the Viper wall, right? I feel like people have played against the same style of ICEBOX forever. So any team that tries to change it up, it goes a long way. And that's why I really, really like this VOD from DRX, because they ran the harbor. They tried something new, and they put their opponents in an uncomfortable situation, which is never where you want to be on game day. So this bubble is to avoid spam, right? Of course, they're playing against classics and shit, so it's going to take a lot more bullets to break this bubble. And but of course, util can still fly through it, and there's a shock dart that flies in. But this moment right here, sorry, I was playing with the Epic pen. This moment was really good because they're planning. Buzz drops off yellow just to cover this, and Leaf has to basically run. Maybe I can get a better shot here. I know how I want to describe this. So between this Viper wall and where he's planning, right, we have some space. It's like 5-6 meters, something like that. When this wall drops, or when they start to plant, they drop the wall. I don't know if that's intentional or they just ran out of fuel. But literally what happens here is one of these players, I think it was Leaf, sprints out from the wall. Yeah, here it comes. Leaf sprints out through the wall. Oh, okay, the wall didn't drop. But he has that 6 meters to run, and he's just dead from main. And I love that. One of these anti-eco... fuck, how do I say this? A really interesting concept on anti-ecos is the way that you use your smokes. A lot of the time, you want to leave angles open instead of smoking things off. For example, like if you're hitting A on ascent, the doorway, you might want to consider not smoking, because you don't want them, the classics, the close range weapons, to sneak up in there and then pop flash out or swing out together and just jump out like the Avengers. So I really like this stylistic idea of planning open, like super far out, so that the defenders have to swing it basically into the open to even get close. If they tried planning really, default, very close, surely this guy is dead insta. Like the classic comes in, and that's the best fight for the classic. So, long story short, excellent anti-eco. And these kind of rounds are always looked over, right? They're always looked past, anti-ecos in general, right? People think, yeah, it's the free round, it's the one you get because your weapons are better. And yeah, it's pretty true, right? But also, the difference between winning an anti-eco with 5 guns and 3 guns left, or even 2, is enough to, sway the game, in my opinion. Like, the next 3 rounds kind of hedge on this. This is the round, not the pistol. That was Cloud9 saying, you know what? Well, we're not going to lose the game yet. It's 2-11, okay? Get it right. We're down, but we're not out. And then DRX was just like, all right, we'll turn our brains on for a round real quick. We'll use 1% of our power. And so they do. And so DRX is on a save round. We're setting the stage. DRX lost the second pistol. They're on a save round. Things didn't go their way, and that's okay. And so DRX dips into the hat of eco strats and say, is my cam too high? I don't know. No, that's a little high. Okay. They dip into the hat of eco strats and they say, we're just going to stack a bomb site, because why not, right? There's a 50-50 chance that they just blow it down into our bomb site, and that's what happens. There's 4 people B in the freeze time, and the Sova ends up being a quick rotate too. They're on classics. Let's note the buy, right? They have a little bit of util, not a lot, and actually they have a reasonable amount of util, but only on classics. They're against an AK, a Marshal, a Stinger, 2 Spectres, and almost full armor on everybody. And let's watch how it goes down.
Also, this whole map felt like CLOUD9 was just on ancient tech versus like, they're just
yes, that's what I think. They're playing. This is the beauty of this map, right? This particular game is that DRX is running something that's outside the box. It's new. It's not fully tested, and it works so goddamn well against what we know is good on ICEBOX. CLOUD9 is not playing bad per se. You know, they're not like I don't. You can make an argument that they didn't adapt very well in the first half. And yeah, they weren't on their game in terms of hitting shots, but I still think this would have been a 13-7 with really good play from CLOUD9, which is why it's so groundbreaking. So it's one of those games where like you didn't do anything wrong per se, and you still lost handedly. Yeah, what a great stack here. So CLOUD9 make it past the point of no return and then get it handed to them. I'll go back and break this down in a sec. So the emotion in Pansy's casting. That's what I live for. Yep. It's just like, oh man. The epic pen. Vanity is dead. Alright, so here's how it went down. Right? DRX calls a B stack. Last round it went A. Honestly, I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe B is a more popular site on the anti-eco because you saw DRX go B on the anti-eco. They said it only makes sense for our opponents to try it, right? This is very standard B control from CLOUD9. They're gonna dart crane, which goes up above B main. It kind of scans all the close areas. They scale up. Yeah, or someone grabs the orb. They're checking all their angles. They start to drone, I think, right here. Oh, see that? No, yeah, they are droning. They are droning. And as soon as they start to do this, this is where it's like, CLOUD9 has done nothing wrong, right? Done nothing wrong. They haven't really baited counter util, but they should assume that there's not any counter util to bait, right? They're against a save. And if you put yourself in CLOUD9 shoes, they've taken B main, they've scaled all the way up, they've met no resistance. If they stop now, they're making a mistake, right? Like they're letting their opponents rotate and get into positions and flood in the bomb site. So they say, let's just go with the flow. Let's roll into the bomb site. Let's go until we meet resistance. And right here, right now, I don't know if you saw it shoot past the screen, but the harbor wall flies in out of nowhere. It's not something you could prepare for, right? It's just like, it just flew through the wall and you're like, oh, now half of our team is cut off. And they have to make a call, basically, right? These players, it's not like an out loud call, but it's going to be this guy and this guy go, uh-oh, half my team is in. We are out. Either we all get the fuck out, or really the easier call is let's all step through the wall. And this is how DRX get CLOUD9 into no man's land, right? This is no man's land. Nobody wants to be here. Now what they do, they layer. This is even better. The Viper Molly. Actually, I love this shot. I'm not even going to move it. Viper Molly flies in right here. Now, CLOUD9 are stuck between a rock and a hard place. They can't go back because they're already past these sight lines. Or really, they start to commit and then they can't go back. They can't go forward because there's a Viper Molly here. You don't want to push a Viper Molly. It's a 2 classics. And I mean, it's just a beautiful play here. They find 2 kills. Frontside players start to trade in, and there's 3 kills. Now you see, I really like this movement. I just love that the caster or the observer captured it. DRX is scrambling to go pick up the guns. Right? You see them literally running across Ye's screen as a pack. They're like, yo, go, 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 go. And I don't think there are any guns that they actually retrieve, but they get a lot closer to the bomb. And I don't know if you noticed, but at the start of the round, there was 2 DRX players here. I think 2 more on the site. These 2 guys traded out, and died. And these two guys ran in while there was a harbor wall and took their place. So they're like constantly rotating players into yellow. And Cloud9 are like, what the fuck? Like, where are these players coming from? Ye is just trying to retrieve the bomb. And like, again, put yourself in his shoes. Half your team just died, but nobody's peeking you. And now, again, more like rock in a hard place type thing. The harbor orb comes down. And this is one of those smokes that's very inviting, right? Either Cloud9 walks into it, and they're trying to get, I mean, they're fighting, 1v1 or 1vx versus classics, or they try and break it, because this is threatening, right? Any kind of smoke is threatening on an anti-eco. You're worried about these guys getting into close effective range and then popping out, jumping out, that kind of thing. And this is a very small space, very small choke. Oops. So yeah, and then this Viper smoke also does the same thing. You're like, oh, they could just be running through at any time. Vanity runs out of ammo. The round is over right now. He's like sweating bullets. Ye is here with the Marshall, not where you want to be. He's dead. And I think someone just jumps. Yeah, Stax just jumps at this guy. Nail in the coffin. 12-2. I just thought it was a beautiful game. And in post game, I have to highlight it. I actually should turn the audio on, just so you could throw it into production if you also think it's funny. You could hear it, yeah. Yeah.
How phenomenal the form that they brought here to Sao Paulo.
Now, got to give credit there. That map 1 showing all of that potential that Cloud9 are going to be bringing for the rest of the year. A team to certainly look out for.
Synopsis is like, nah, we couldn't cross that name off the list. We're going home.
Name crossed out for now, but
and I think Stax mimics it or something. I saw this. I mean, that's so good. Like, that's so cheeky. But yeah, what a great map. Yeah, what's interesting is Cloud9 has always been a very adaptable team. They call a timeout, MC spits some game in the mic, and then it's just win out from there, right? How many times have we seen MC call a timeout and it's just like 8 rounds in a row after that? You know it's fucking good when they can't solve it. When every round after round is more of the same from DRX and it's still not solved. C9 is a team almost that when you play against them, you need to constantly innovate before they solve it. Otherwise, you're just giving rounds back to them. But DRX didn't. You know, they ran the same shit and it kept working. And I was like, holy shit, they solved Cloud9. Amazing to me.